Hey guys, so today me and my dad has seen Halloween 6, the unrated producer's cut. Just real quick, if you'd like to check out the movie, it's available on Amazon Prime. You can get it very cheap and it'll ship in 2 days, so it's a great deal for you. And so we watched it finally. We ordered it a few days ago, but I was gone, so we couldn't really sit down and watch it together. And we were actually really pumped by seeing it. So I did a live stream yesterday, and I showed it off, and I was told that after we seen the movie, can we review it? And I thought it was a good idea. My dad was down for it, so it was a great idea. I don't know what the person's name is, but I'll add his channel right back here. And yeah, thank you for the idea. So after thinking about it, I did not just want to review the producer's cut. I wanted to review both the theatrical and the producer's cut, just to make it make it more understandable about how these movies were made. And so we'll go off with a little backstory first. Halloween 6 was made in 1995, I believe in October 28th. I believe that's the actual release date. And there was two different cuts of the film. One was a theatrical release, which most people hated because it was very confusing. They didn't explain a whole lot about this whole cult curse type thing.
A lot of editing.
A lot of editing issues.
It's too much editing.
Way too much editing issues.
Not enough Loomis. Definitely not enough Loomis.
Dr. Loomis. Apparently, the producers were 14-year-olds, and they thought Dr. Loomis is also known as Donald Pleasant's scenes. Most of them were boring.
It was the test audience that they had tested around these younger teenagers, and of course, they're not going to understand the character of Dr. Loomis like a grown-up would, or a person that's followed the series throughout the beginning of the series.
Exactly, and apparently they thought his screen time, most of it was boring, which, why would you think that Donald Pleasance is boring? Because Donald Pleasance is one of the best actors.
He's the key to the Halloween series.
And as a matter of fact, it's our personal favorite character in the series, more than Michael Myers. More than Michael Myers.
By a little
Just
bit.
a little bit, because, I mean, he's the man, obviously.
He ends up losing his mind more than Michael Myers.
Exactly, especially in Part 5. But we're not here to talk about Part 5, this is just about Part 6. So, apparently since Halloween 6 became such a box office bomb and a critical failure, apparently people wanted to know what the real Halloween 6 was going to be, because there were bootlegs of the copy being released, and they became more rare and harder to find, until in 2015, they finally released a box set with the producer's cut in it. And apparently it had mixed opinions. Many people thought it was better than the theatrical, and many people thought it was not as good as the theatrical. And either way, people thought it was just still both bad films, which kind of shocks me, because as much as I love I grew up with Halloween 6. He had it on VHS. I was only a little kid. I watched it literally all the time, and it scared me. It scared the crap out of me.
It's one of the most goriest Halloweens. It has
the original franchise is probably just the goriest.
It is the goriest.
Franchise.
The way that Michael Myers appears, though, is a little too gaudy and bulky for me, and for my personal taste, anyways. But it does have some of the sickest kill scenes you'll ever see, and possibly a horror movie
for sure. So after talking about this, you can tell there's a lot of differences between the theatrical and the producer's cut, such as, of course, the final act. It's a whole different cut of the film, and I think it's the most recognizable difference compared to all the other scenes in the first movie. In the first few acts, you may realize, it's pretty much just the same thing, but then you start to realize, once the end comes, it's more noticeable. If I had to pick the better ending act,
let's start with the beginning first, because
yes.
To me the whole beginning of the movie is what drew me into this movie and made me actually really like this movie more than I really did originally.
Right,
this movie.
This one, we were just expecting just to be just a different cut of the movie, but that's a whole different thing. We actually thought it was better than the theatrical cut. It explains
way
more.
Better.
It explains more, and they added a lot more better ideas, and it kind of shocks me how they would remove a lot of things which would have made more sense. But of course, due to the test audience and the producers, they really didn't think that it would really fit in properly.
I agree.
So if I was part of the movie, I would definitely go with the first version of the movie. The first version is the producer's cut. If that movie came out first, I of course would have loved part 6 a lot more, but unfortunately that didn't really work out. And so the beginning talks about Jamie giving birth, obviously kind of like how it is in the theatrical cut, except it's less editing. Like the editing is not as crazy, and just
not even just that. The beginning of the movie, the original theatrical version, the commentary from the beginning of the movie is done by Paul Rudd, which many people have stated they don't even know who Paul Rudd was at the time.
Because this was his first movie appearance before 40-Year-Old Virgin, before Ant-Man. It was Halloween, The Curse
Paul
of Michael
Rudd
Myers.
is grown Tommy Doyle.
Yup.
Anyways, from the beginning, I'm sorry not to interrupt you.
It's fine.
Anyways, the beginning of this movie is narrated by Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance, which is amazing to me, which off the rip from the beginning of the movie just drew me in, and I couldn't believe it. Even when we were watching it, remember we both just looked at each other like, damn, what the hell?
Like he should have been in there.
Yeah, and the fact that they incorporated Donald Pleasance more into the producer's cut rather than the theatrical version is what really, because Donald Pleasance to me makes Halloween. If you've ever seen my Halloween rankings, which they're now altered and different, and I will be doing another video about that. But just the fact that he has more of a role in this movie, it always bothered me that in the theatrical version he didn't really have much of a role at all.
Right, and then a lot of people were talking about both from the theatrical and the producer's cut, which they would rather prefer, more Myers or more Loomis. For me, it has to be Loomis because he's pretty much the king of the franchise.
He's the key to the franchise.
Right, because like he was a doctor to Michael. He'd been teaching him for like the longest times. But it kind of threw me off the ending though, the producer's cut, how they would make him have that thorn attached to his wrist.
Yeah, like he got passed.
He was already getting old enough, so like why would you think that'd be a good idea to end the series on a good note? But either way, the theatrical had that same problem. Like, why would you end him off screaming like that as his final voice will hear, including
I'm sure they didn't know he was gonna die, or he didn't know he was gonna die.
But you have to face it, he was an old man.
Movie, and I think that's probably why that they took him out of the movie a lot. But he was still spot on to me, like he is on any other.
And
Halloween
they explain more, like
great actor. Like, how can you take this guy out of the damn movie? Like,
right, because like he's been in the franchise.
Like, what the fuck?
Like longer than like any other. Like out of every actor who's played both Myers, he was the one that still came back in every sequel, and including the first one, obviously.
And you seen when they were like, when he told him I'm retired, and then when he found out he was back, they showed him to go get his pistol in the producer's cut. Like, they show like way more stuff going on, like way more key details. Even when they showed the cutscene from the end of Halloween 5, when they show him escaping from the jail.
And then they kidnap Jamie.
Yeah,
and
they
kidnap Jamie.
No, explain none of that shit in there. What the hell are they thinking?
And then like, what also like, you may notice in the theatrical cut how most of the stitch marks are gone from like the fire from Halloween 2, like how the hospital happened. They actually said in the producer's cut that he got plastic surgery and now his face looks better.
Yeah, skin
Why
grafts.
didn't they even mention that either? Because like that would have explained why his face looked more clean.
Yeah,
because like in 5, like he ripped off his glove, showed his hand. It looked nasty.
Yeah.
His face was all messed up, and like
kind of like Two-Face.
Right, and like they explained that in the producer's cut. But what really bothers me more is that why do most fans prefer the theatrical over the producer's cut? For me, for both of us, it explains more, it has better editing, either way, it was just a better cut of the film in general. We would have liked it way more if this was the one that hit theaters first, and now that we finally have a Blu-ray release of it, like it kind of just feels like it's pointless, because like you're now just releasing it pretty much 20 years later after the movie's been out, and we now bought it, and let me just say, we really wish that this would have been the final like cut of the movie that made it to theaters, because I would have loved it. I would have rewatched it a lot more. Part 6, you can just say that it was confusing, which everybody will agree, including him.
I always felt like this movie was missing something. From the first time I ever seen this movie, I always thought, man, Halloween 6 is really dark. It's got a lot of great kill scenes, but it's just missing something. And it was so many different edit points in the movie that now after seeing this, it's just, oh, that's different, but it's just the whole complete scene instead of cut, like it was just boom, 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 went through a butcher shop numerous times. A lot of scenes in this movie just make the movie actually make sense and make it a movie. And to me, it makes it a great movie.
Yes, honestly, I was shocked when we watched the producer's cut because we thought it was gonna be good, but we didn't have we didn't know we were gonna.
I didn't go into. I thought it was gonna suck, honestly. I mean, I as soon as I found out there was gonna be more Donald Pleasant scenes, I had a gut feeling that I was gonna like it a little more, but I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. Like I said, it's not perfect. It does have its flaws.
Like there's still some confusing moments.
Like the ending of the movie is just possibly the only flaw, but it's still not that bad. And even how they altered the scene with when John Strode. When he was electrocuted, you know what I'm saying?
Like his head didn't explode.
Yeah, his head didn't explode, but it was still a decent kill
because he was still electrocuted.
Of the musical score that they were playing, and that played a big difference.
And that's what made the movie better too. Was
exactly
that the music score and the producer's cut is way better.
Gave it that
than the theatrical
feel
cut.
that you miss from these movies that we've been missing from these movies, and it just did it for me. Like it's not the greatest Halloween, but it does do the movie justice, and it does make me have a different view of Halloween 6 now.
And honestly, it makes me like Halloween 6 a little bit more just because of the producer's cut.
I agree. I strongly agree.
So,
because Michael Myers is the man, numero uno.
Yes, there is. We actually made fun of the movie quite a few parts in it. Like there's one part where Kara was attached to the big group thing that they were going on. Michael Myers was just standing there letting them escape.
Doing the cult ritual.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
they were gonna set the sacrifice.
But the one part I really loved before it got to the cliffhanging type ending was the chase, how the alarms are going off, the lights were blinking. It makes it more suspenseful.
Agreed.
This movie, I got scared more in the producer's cut than the theatrical cut, mostly just because I really wasn't expecting what was going to happen more. And even when I rewatched the theatrical cut, I still kind of get scared, but this one kind of had me more of the chills. I even told him I got the chills in most of the parts, and this is a movie experience that I wish we would have seen in theaters, and if they made it to theaters, it probably would have been one of the coolest Halloween experiences of our lives. And this is without a doubt one of the best entries. I consider its own film pretty much.
2/3 of the movie are amazing, and then the end, how I didn't like how they could control Michael Myers. Nothing can stop Michael Myers. You know, he's kind of like the Juggernaut almost. Not the Juggernaut, but you know what I'm trying to say. But the way that they did it, it was cool. But seeing how the other endings were, and just seeing how he was being able to be this brainwashed by this call was nothing that you've seen from Michael Myers. I could tell they were going. I know they were going in a different direction with it, and I totally see and understand the direction that they were going with. But at times it didn't make sense, and this kind of makes it make sense a little more. And also something I wanted to say that I told him, I made him pause the movie for this. It was just something I thought because I also rewatched the theatrical version of Halloween 6 last night. And they know that Michael's coming back. He's came back several times. Why is there not some sort of military presence in Haddonfield when you know this guy's coming? It's just oh, he's gone. They've said he's escaped. They know what he's capable of doing. Why in the... I want to say the F word so bad, I said it before. Why in the hell is there not a military presence in Haddonfield? I know this is a fictional movie, but it just mind boggles me. He just goes on mass killing sprees every time he comes. He's coming back. They know he is.
Right.
It just
he definitely made a good point.
Stupid theory I have, but it just makes sense. But it's a movie, whatever.
Well, I guess that's all we can really say. We gave every single point we figured we want to go off. and I hope you guys enjoy the view. I highly recommend you checking out the producer's cut. You can still check out the theatrical cut.
$7.88 on Amazon.
Right,
Prime,
it's cheap.
free shipping.
And it'll ship quick
Blu-ray,
too.
you can't beat it. It's great quality video.
It really is. And yeah, you'll love the producer's cut, believe me. Yes, some people may say it's not very a recommended movie, but in our opinion, we love the producer's cut, and we'll be ranking these movies once again, and we are going to include the producer's cut since it feels like it's a different movie in the franchise. So yeah, we're just
make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe to his channel.
Yes, Jeremy TV 313.
And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. And we're actually doing more horror stuff now because, I mean, like, ever since we heard the news of the new movie, we're kind of more out with the Halloween franchise.
I've always loved the Halloween franchise
me too.
more than anything, but with the new movie and the hype and John Carpenter being more involved, or being involved again, just brought a lot more life. And then he's been telling me about this producer's cut for a couple of years, but I'm just like, oh, whatever, it's the same thing. And he's telling me, no, it's not, and I'm like, whatever, dude, it's the same thing. But it's not the same thing. This is in my top 5 favorite Halloweens now. I'm not saying it's perfect, it's not the greatest. So some people might like it, might be their favorite. To me, it's not my favorite, but it's way in the hell better than this theatrical bullshit. I called it, what did I call it earlier? It's like this movie, the producer's cut of this movie made the theatrical version of the Curse of Michael Myers look like Halloween Resurrection, which doesn't even exist.
Yeah, Resurrection's just horrible. But speaking of that, okay. Well, that's it, guys. We really weren't expecting to make a longer video, but you know what? It's worth it because we just want to let you guys know this is a very highly recommended film. And yeah, we hope that you guys will enjoy it just as much as we do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this review. We're planning on making more reviews of the franchise, and yeah, and we hope you guys like the video. So we'll see you guys next time, and I'll bring him back to more of my videos. So
the next one.
Yep.
Got all weekend.
Well,
Jeremy TV 313, XX Slayer Man 2003.
We're out, guys.
Peace.